illegal immigrants are doing all this harm to black people. Why don't
Man, you're running like a beta male. Are you a beta male? Beta! Beta male!
Stupid enough to believe that the phrase beta male means anything?
You are a beta male. I'm surprised not surprised you're a leftist. If you were not a beta male, you wouldn't be a leftist.
Yeah, because a sign of being secure in your masculinity.
No, you're beta.
And say, oh, I'm not a beta male. I'm not a beta male. You're a beta male.
Beta. Ben Burgis. He's here. Give them an argument. Logic for the left. This is where he's urging the leftists to be more persuasive and logical.
We have the richest country in the world. Millions of people, still don't have health care or have health care they can't afford to use. We have
So is the system we have now working for you?
Irrelevant.
How is that irrelevant?
It's totally irrelevant because because whether or not it works for me has nothing to do with whether it's unjust.
So rather than trying to turn these people into little socialists, so that you can use them for your own personal gain, why not teach them?
Wait a second. How is that my personal gain?
Because the whole purpose of socialism is to use people for your own personal gain, to gain power and wealth.
No, it isn't.
Rather than using them, in reality, that's the only reason for socialism is to dumb the people down, addict them to you so that you can use them for personal gain. That's all Bernie Sanders is doing.
That is a
Bernie Sanders,
nonsense.
Bernie Sanders and the Democrats are doing that. Bernie Sanders and the Democrats are
assertions, or do you have some sort of argument for that?
Bernie Sanders is a very wealthy man, and rather than teaching people how to become wealthy people, he offered them free stuff in order to dumb them down, in order to control them for personal gain, to gain power and wealth.
Everything
that's what you're doing.
You just said is wrong. Since you had me on, are you going to give me a chance to explain why everything you just said is wrong?
Yes.
All right, excellent. First of all, the idea that Bernie Sanders should be teaching other people, how to get $1 million or whatever is ridiculous, because what he would be teaching them is, well, first you run for president after the end of decades of public service, and then you write a book about it. That's not exactly a universal path to economic success.
You're making money off that.
Far from dumbing people down, giving people things like universal health care actually gives them more options in life. Because right now...
No, it doesn't.
It does, because
it cheapens them for your personal gain.
Because right now, people are afraid to lose the jobs that they have because their health care is associated with it. So you want to keep your head down. You want to do everything your boss says, because if you lose your job, you and your family will lose your health care. If you want to give people more options, be able to go back to school, be able to start their own businesses, et cetera, they're much better off. They're in a much better position to do that if they have national health insurance.
So you're saying that most people are so dumb and lazy or mentally off that they can't do what you're doing.
No, that is total nonsense. Those are the words you put in my mouth. That's not something that I believe.
But that's how you treat them. That's how you treat them.
People are dumb and lazy. I think people have tremendous potential that's being quashed.
Well, why don't you encourage that rather than encouraging?
I am encouraging that.
No, you're encouraging a dependency on someone else.
What unleashes that potential is giving people the economic basis so they have more options in life.
Are you for reparations?
That's going to get the best winning coalition is reparations right now, this minute.
How are you a professor of philosophy and you can't even answer simple questions?
Because your simple question is misleading. It's a false dilemma. Either what you're saying is a logical fallacy. You're saying that
I haven't said anything. It was a question. Are you for reparation for black people?
You don't think something could be a loaded, misleading question? You think those are impossible? Those never exist?
Right. It doesn't. To a liar, to a deceiver, it's hard for them because they don't want to answer the truth.
Or for somebody who's capable of thinking more complicated thoughts than, yes, I totally agree with this, or no, I totally disagree with this. Sometimes the truth is complicated.
Are you for the wall, the big, beautiful wall going up around the borders to stop the illegal aliens from coming in? Black people are being affected first and foremost. Do you care that black people are being affected first and foremost in a negative way by illegal aliens? Does that bother you?
The premise of your question is just false. Undocumented immigrants don't.
That's not my question, Ben.
Higher rate.
Does that bother you?
They actually commit violent crimes at a lower rate than people who are born here. So that part's just nonsense. They also pay in taxes because undocumented immigrants who work in the system use fake social security numbers.
Ben, you're running again.
Taxes, but they don't pay services. So what you said is the opposite of the truth.
Ben, you're running. You're a deceiver. You're running.
I'm not running. I'm telling you.
They are not undocumented.
You stated a bunch of falsehoods.
Listen.
And said, do these falsehoods bother you? I am explaining to you why they are false.
Why are you denying black people rather than trying to really show them and help them in the right way? Why are you denying? Why are you denying what's happening to black people? Why are you pretending you don't see it?
Well. A logical fallacy I talk about in the book is begging the question, and begging the question is when you're assuming what you're trying to prove, which is what you're doing right now. You have a.
Why are you pretending not to see it?
To the assumption that you're right and I'm wrong about all this, and you're asking why I'm denying the truth. What I'm saying is that you are denying the truth. That as a matter of fact, it's just not true. That
are you an honest man, Ben?
Yes, I am. I don't believe you are. You keep saying they're just questions. They're not questions. You're making assertions of fact, and you're saying, oh, illegal immigrants are doing all of this harm to black people. Why don't
you're running like a beta male. Are you a beta male? Beta! Beta male!
Enough to believe that the phrase beta male means anything.
You are a beta male. I'm surprised not surprised you're a leftist. If you were not a beta male, you wouldn't be a leftist.
Yeah, because a sign of being secure in your masculinity.
No, you're beta.
And say, oh, I'm not a beta male. I'm not a beta male. You're a beta male.
Beta.
Ridiculous, Jesse.
Beta.
The fact that you feel to resort to this nonsense.
Let me ask you, Ben,
shows that you know that you don't have a leg to stand on in the argument. If you had an argument, you'd make it.
I have no logic. You don't even know where it comes from.
Oh, really? I have no logic because I keep on trying to explain what's wrong with your arguments, and you keep talking over me and claiming you're not making arguments. You're just asking questions as if you didn't know that there was such a thing as a loaded question. I keep trying to focus on the arguments, and you're trying to do this petty schoolyard taunt about beta males.
Beta! Let me ask Ben. Ben, do you support abortion? You in favor of abortion?
I support abortion rights.
Do you support abortion, Ben?
Do you mean that I think everybody is pregnant? Like, what do you mean support abortion? I support.
Are you for?
Abortion. I think abortion should be legal. Is that what you're asking?
You think abortion should be? Do you support abortion personally? Are you in support of abortion?
Do I think that women should?
That's not. What's wrong with you?
Because you're being very unclear, Jesse.
I asked, do you support abortion? How is that unclear?
Okay.
Ben, you know who Pete Buttcheek is? You know, he's running for president out of Indiana?
I know who you're referring to.
He is for abortion at the 9th month. Do you agree with him?
I don't think that's a fair characterization of what he says.
Do you agree with him?
I don't. Sure. Let's say. Look, you are distorting beyond recognition.
All I'm doing is asking a question, and you're running.
No, but your question.
Beta.
No, you are.
How do you live with yourself?
You ask me questions. Every single question you have asked has started with a false statement. You say, "Oh, this is going on. Do you care about that?" If somebody makes a false statement, this is going on, why don't you care about it?
It's not going to work.
Dodging the question to tell them that the premise of the question is false.
You don't care about black people. What does that feel like not to care about black people?
Even you aren't dishonest enough to believe that.
Ben, do you love black people last time?
You really are amazing.
Amazing! Amazing! love all people, all people.
Every single one.
All people, yes,
every person you've ever met. I think that if you use the word love that way,
I love all black people. I love.
Yeah, there are family detention centers.
You don't even care about family. You're a socialist.
Which is also bad, and I'm also against that. But family separation is worse, and that is a Trump innovation.
Ben.
When you see pictures of kids in cages under Obama, those were people who came unaccompanied minors.
Ben, you carried on like my wife if I had one. Stop it.
I'm surprised. I'm amazed that you don't, Jesse.
So that not being paid for giving student loan for so-called students, right?
Yes, for the 44 million Americans whose life choices are currently constrained by having.
Did you go to college?
Is that a serious question?
Yes.
You want to posture and pose like you're an alpha male, Jesse? Just say what you mean. Don't hide behind asking questions.
I just asked a simple question. Did you go to college, Ben?
No, it's not a real question because you know the answer. Get to the point.
What is the answer to that?
Say what you mean. Don't hide behind questions.
Ben, that's not going to work. Why not suggest that for everyone?
Okay, so you think that...
No, I'm asking you, why not suggest that for everyone?
Perfect. Let's talk about why not suggest that for everybody, because what you're doing is something called the fallacy of composition. The fallacy of composition is when you say if something is true of one person, or maybe even it's true of every individual, then it could be true for all of them. Like that's like saying that the molecules that make up the Brooklyn Bridge are invisible, so the Brooklyn Bridge is invisible. Just because individuals can get better jobs, that individuals can be upwardly mobile, that can get middle-class jobs. That doesn't follow that everybody could get a middle-class job. If everybody got a middle-class job, then the economy would collapse. Doing the jobs at the bottom of the economy. And that's the answer to your question. That's why it wouldn't make sense to try to solve this crisis by getting everybody to get one of those jobs.
So
you're not interested in the answers to the questions.
I gotta run. So the book is give them an argument. Well, you did a good job today giving them an argument.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for coming on, Ben.
Yeah, and I think that he was being very honest because in the sense of he believes these lies, so he believes that he's being honest.
Amazing.
So he's being honest about the lies that he believes. That's how I think.
Blah, blah, blah. Talk about blah, 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 blah.
Were you just basically using the same strategy you would have used with anyone else if you were going down that line of questioning did you get to a point where you realized he's obviously just asking very loaded black and white questions, like he just wants yes or no in order to obviously push a narrative forward?
Yeah, I mean, with anybody else, the strategy probably would have been a little bit different because I don't like, even somebody like Tucker Carlson will at a certain point just come out and like say what he's going to say and not play this weird game where there's like a paragraph of exposition before every question, but then he doggedly insists that he's not making statements. He's just asking questions.
Yeah.
So I guess, like, in fact, actually, that was what a lot of it ended up being about, right? It was kind of meta, it was like there was actually a point in the conversation where I asked him if he thought it was possible for something to be an unreasonable question based on a false premise, and he said no, right? That wasn't possible. I guess I'm not totally sure what I think in retrospect about this, except like what I'll say in defense of it is I don't know what else I could have done. Is that like I just kind of doggedly pointed out the false presupposition every single time, which meant that which meant that 9 times out of 10 I had to talk over him to say what I thought was the false premise, because the second I didn't give him a yes or no, he started like trying to talk again or ask the next question or castigate me for not giving a yes or no answer. But I guess the good thing is that he has a very, in a weird way, actually, given how shock jockey a lot of his shtick is, in a weird way, he's also kind of a soft-spoken old man. So like, so you couldn't like, like if I tried that on Tucker Carlson, it never would have worked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like,
no, absolutely.
Like Tucker, like Tucker would have won the like shouted out, like who can shout over who game, like that's
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
whereas like Jesse in a weird way is like kind of low energy and kind of willing to like be talked over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like,
no, it's true. Did you feel like a beta male when you were speaking to him?
No. Although, yeah, he did bring that out. He did put that on the table. That I was being a beta male.
Well, the thing is, like, he's not just an alpha; he's the alpha and the omega. Like he's the beginning and end of time.
Amazing.